Hi guys, so today I wanted to do an updated eyebrow tutorial, which I haven't done in a while. In a second, I'm going to take you through the entire step-by-step with my eyebrows. I even show you how I groom them, kind of how I tweeze them and shape them and stuff. So, and then how I fill them and everything. I'm pretty excited because over the past month, maybe a little more, I feel like I've had this forever because I just love it. I've been using a new product and it's hard not to do a video right away on stuff like this that I get excited about because you guys know me, I'm always, I always want to share stuff right away. But it comes out today, so finally I can talk about it. So I think that you guys will really like it. So this is the new thing that I've been loving. It's been on my vanity all month and I've been using it every day. It's the Sigma Beauty Expert Brow Design Kit. And also there is a link below to Sigma's website where you can get this, as well as a coupon code that will last until the end of July. So if you want them, check them out below. I love it. I love the packaging. It's so pretty. It's huge. That's my only complaint, is that it is big and bulky, so I couldn't really take it with me traveling and stuff, but the good thing about it is that it has lots of pieces that come out. So I definitely can take a lot of this other stuff with me, like pencils and, all the good brow gels and stuff. So I'm going to kind of take you through it. What I love about it most is that it does not come in different shades. A lot of people might think, oh, well, that's kind of a downfall. When I buy eyeshadow kits by whatever brand, and I get they come in a light color, a dark, whatever, it's hard for me because for your arch you need a darker color. Generally toward the center you need a lighter color. Toward your tail you don't want it to be super dark, you want it to be lighter. So I do show you how I do all that, and I'll explain more of that in the tutorial part of this video. But I love how it's just colors that everyone from super blonde with no eyebrows, not that if you're blonde you have no eyebrows, because I have blonde hair, not naturally, but I have darker eyebrows that are natural and it works. But if I had, Waylon just busted in here. He's really happy today. Oh! He's really happy today. Waylon really likes this too. But anyways, what I love about it is that even if you had very light, very sparse eyebrows, there's colors for you. This would be great for blondes, really, really blondes. Yeah, I love it. And then if you have really dark eyebrows, or you like the most dramatic looks, has a very dark, dark brown. I personally believe you should never use a black or even a black and gray on your eyebrows that does not have any brown in it. I think even the darkest shades should always have brown. I've said that before. Even if you have the darkest of eyebrow hair. My eyebrow hair is no joke black in some places. Sometimes when I tweeze it's black. And I know it may not look like that because I've got, lighter hair. It's just funny how eyebrows kind of work and, frame your face. But yeah, even on the darkest of eyebrows, this Valentina shade is gorgeous, and I even used a little bit of that when I was filling in a spot, and I'll show you how to do that and everything. I love that it's got this double-sided pencil, which is perfect. Like my scar right here, which I'll show you how I fill that. I sometimes will use the darkest one. I've used that one before. If I use it very sparingly, it's not bad at all. But if you had really thick brows and you had a scar or something, and they were very dark brows, then you could get a lot of use out of the dark and the medium. I mean, I like both. Comes with a pencil that is for highlighting. I really love it. It's a shimmery side that's a shimmery gold, which is what I used in the tutorial in this video. And then there's a flat side. And it says matte. This one's nice because I've used some brow pencils like this that are specifically for using like that are either too bright pink or they're too light, and I'm thinking, how do people with darker skin tones use this? I can use this one, and I'm fairly fair, so I know that people with darker skin tones can use this as well and blend it and make it look fabulous. There's 3 eyebrow stencils, which I'll show you how to use those, which I was when I opened this and I saw, I think I was the most excited about all the little implement stuff. I was just so excited. Really nice tweezers, which I will say that I've been using tweezers probably long before I should have even been using tweezers, which explains my really crazy wonky eyebrow years. But I find that I consider myself somewhat of an eyebrow tweezer expert. because I've literally tried them all. And what's funny is that whenever, and I will just say this, whenever an eyebrow tweezer, or whenever tweezers come in a kit, they always suck. But these are actually really nice. I like how they're really sharp, like super, super sharp. They like perfectly fit together, and that's how I would always kind of test it. If you look, some of them are usually off a little bit. They fit so flush together. They're really, really nice. And I've been using these nonstop, and they're very, very high quality tweezers. And these are eyebrow scissors, which you really have to be careful with because it's very easy to cut too much and then end up with gaps, and I will show you how to tweeze your brows or trim your brows in a second as well. A sharpener for the large pencils, which is important because, you know, sometimes those are hard to find. The eyebrow gel, love this. I demonstrate every single one of these products in the video, so. Double-sided, which I love. A darker side and a clear side. Day to day, if I was just going to go through and quickly do the powders and fill my brows, which it looks huge and like, oh my god, that would take forever. It really takes me less than a minute every day to do my brows. The video is a little longer because I'm explaining, obviously, but yeah, if I'm going to take the time to do the powder and everything and they're filled in, I'll use the clear really lightly, and I'll give you some tips on how to use eyebrow gel as well in a second. But if I'm just, you know, really, really in a hurry and I don't have time to actually use the color or to use the powder to fill them in, you can use this darker shade, and it's the darker gel, and it's really nice. And then this is kind of the key to the whole thing. I use this like pretty much through every single step of everything that I do, from tweezing to trimming to blending the pencils to blending the powders. And the other side has a nice angled brush that's really nice. It's an E75, and this is the E80. So I really love those. I'm kind of obsessed with this, and I love it. I love eyebrows. This is a staple now that will always be on my vanity. I really love it. If you want to see how I use this kit, then keep watching. Alright, so when I get started with my brows, I've done them kind of recently, so there's really not a lot to trim. But what I like to do is I always take a brush like this. This is the little double-ended brush that came in the kit. And comb straight up. And just the hair that you see that is sticking up is what you need to trim. So I can use these little scissors and do that. And you never want to cut right out your line. You always want to cut just a little above. And you always want to be really careful right here at your arch, because sometimes these hairs look like they need to be cut, but they really don't because they're just longer. These hairs are generally longer because they comb down. So I would say to just not trim those, and only trim those if they're sticking out when they're combed. Like you can see I have one. It's really not a big deal, but if you really want to get crazy and trim them up, you can. Do the same thing on the other side. And then what I do is I just comb straight up and inward right there, comb straight up right there and smooth, and then kind of comb upward and down at the same time. And then what I do is I tweeze any hairs that are way outside the shape. I never tweeze any that are super close right there. I can always wait till later when they get really long, and then I step back and say, oh, that's wrong. Because that's how you overplay. Then I go right into filling my brows. Now, if you have some issues and you really want to kind of, you know, you're not happy with your brow shape, you can use the stencils that they come in. They come with small, medium, and large. Mine technically are right in between medium and large. I would probably use the one that is smaller than you think you need. You want to use the one that leaves just a little bit of skin around. You don't want to use, like, say the small, which when I put that over my brow there's absolutely no skin. What you can do is use this as a guide. So I put this over my brows. I always start with kind of a medium color, and for me that's either going to be this Scarlet or Chloe. But since I'm actually like filling them and making them look a little more precise, I'm going to use the Chloe shade, which is a little warmer and darker than the Scarlet. Scarlet's more ashy. So put that on and start always at the arch right here where that little connector is. You always want the most color to be there, and then it gets lighter as it goes in. And then on the tail of your on your brows you can use a lighter color, so I'm going to use the Scarlet right there. Again, I use the Chloe right here. And then I'm going to use the Scarlet again right here on the inner part, because you want this inner part to be defined, but you also want it to be a little softer. And you can take it off and see that did a really good job. And then what you can do is you can go back with a darker shade, like this Natasha shade. And like I said, you know, you don't have to use like if you have dark brows, you don't have to say, oh, well, I'm only going to be using these couple shades, or if you have light brows, oh, well, I'm never going to use those, because you totally will end up using all of them. So what I do is I just comb it out afterwards, and then right in the middle, I take a little bit of this either Bella or Scarlet shade. I'm going to use the Bella just to show you how that light shade really does make a difference. Take the angled brush and kind of face it like that, and kind of extend the middle a little bit. And then to kind of smooth everything out, you can go back with the lighter shade and kind of just go around everything and make sure that everything's smooth. And I didn't really mention this before, but I always fill this top part of my brows. I really never go underneath because it's pretty smooth under there anyways. Your brows may be different, but I think for most people that I've ever done their eyebrows, this is a good rule to stick to because it works for them as well. Alright, so you can see the difference. So I think it kind of makes me look younger when they're a little more defined. Not so much defined, but just kind of filled in and even. There's nothing worse than looking like you have like that line right here and like tattooed eyebrows, so just be careful. Alright, so for this one, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, I have this scar right here, which doesn't really grab color a lot, like even when I use a powder. So what I like to do is I use this pencil in medium, and I just kind of lightly go over it. Use less than what you think, and you see I already filled it really nice. Some people will opt to use this first if you really have thin brows, and see, I already have fairly thick dark brows. So if you have really thin brows, you may want to use this just lightly all over, kind of like that, you know, before you apply the powder. Using the pencil and then coating it with the powder really will help it stay all day. I'm going to skip the stencil this time just so I can show you, because daily I probably wouldn't use the stencil. So I use that Chloe shade, which is the medium brown right here, on the arch. Use kind of a medium ashy shade to make the tail. Use that same medium ashy shade to kind of cover up this middle area, because again, I don't want to use a dark shade right here, so I just kind of layer that over. Alright, and then I use the lightest shade, Bella, to do the center. You'd probably never think of matching a light shade like that with darker brown eyebrows like mine. Some of my eyebrows are almost black when I pluck them. So yeah, you just kind of work with it. So I really love this kit. I think it's really useful, and it's kind of neat because you don't buy like a light, medium, or dark. Like, I think that everyone can use all of these shades, and then again brush through. These are my favorite type of eyebrow brushes. You can even take the lighter color again and go around. It's a quick process. I know I'm like explaining and everything, but you'll get the hang of it, and it's really fast. Then last, I take this double-sided pencil. Today I'm going to use the shimmer color. Draw it right up underneath the brow, and this just kind of lifts and gives some highlight. This is a nice shade for everyday too. But what I like to do is use them as eyeliner. They're really fun for the lower lash line. Now, so it doesn't look like that, like a harsh line, you can take your finger, or I think this eyebrow brush really kind of blends it nice if you just kind of lightly do that. Then you can apply your brow gel. And what I love is that there's a double-ended brow gel, which is kind of genius. This would work for the darkest brows to the lightest, and I have pretty dark brows, so I'm just going to show you. I necessarily probably would not fill them in a lot and use this. Sometimes if you just want it to be really quick, you could use this only. But yeah, you can see, even though it looks like a lighter brown or medium brown, it doesn't look like it leaves any residue on my eyebrows, and I absolutely love this. Been using this a lot, like I said, when I don't want to fill in my brows, or if I don't have a lot of time, I can just use this. And this is great to throw in your purse too, because that's what mostly happens to me during the day, is my eyebrows start looking all like they're moving around, because they're actually, I have like longer hair eyebrows. So that's kind of fun to throw in your purse. It really just kind of keeps them in place. If you're going to use the clear, a lot of people have a hard time with brow gel because they think it leaves their brows kind of like crispy, and you know, you can see the gel. Use it very, very sparingly, and that's all I'm going to say. It's just really, it's easy to go overboard with brow gel. You never want to press it to your skin, because then it's just going to make your brows look all gelled together. You really just want to use a light hand and use it just on the hair only. Before it dries, you can work with it with the dry regular brush. Try to work with them with this brush. You're going to end up in a goopy mess with too much eyebrow gel. So that is it. I hope that I kind of demonstrated everything, and I hope that you guys will try this out again. All the links are below, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.